Today, we're going to unpack one of the most powerful metaphors for community ever thought up. Seriously, it's an ancient idea, but you'll see it has huge implications for how we all live and work together, right here, right now.
It's a funny thought, right? I mean, who hasn't been there? You're totally swamped, juggling a million things, and you think, man, if I just had a few extra hands. It sounds like a pretty simple fix. But hang on. Think about that. If you just added one extra arm, your whole body, your skeleton, your nervous system, your heart, everything would have to be completely re-engineered to support it. Why? Because a body isn't just a random collection of parts. It's one single, deeply connected system. And that idea, that concept of a single, interconnected organism, is exactly where our source material kicks off. It lays out this core metaphor. One body made of many, many essential parts. So these words come from the Apostle Paul. He was writing to this community in the ancient city of Corinth, and he's doing something brilliant here. He's taking the physical reality of a human body to explain a much deeper spiritual and social truth. Let's just break it down nice and simple. When Paul talks about the body, he means this unified whole represented by Christ. And when he says the parts, well, that's just all the individual people in the community. That's you, me, everyone. Okay, so if you have all these different parts, all these unique people, what could possibly be strong enough to actually bind them all together into one thing? What's the unifying force here? And believe me, this community was radically diverse for its time. Back then, the lines between Jews and Greeks, and especially between slaves and free people, these were massive, uncrossable social walls. These groups were never supposed to be part of the same body. So what's the glue? Paul says it's the Spirit. This is the force that just smashes through those social walls and gives every single person, no matter their background, a brand new shared identity in this one body. So we've established the community is diverse, but Paul pushes it even further. He argues that this diversity isn't just something you tolerate, it's an absolute functional necessity. He's trying to get rid of this whole problem of sameness. And he does it with this amazing rhetorical move. He asks a series of questions that are almost, well, absurd, to get his audience to see the logic for themselves. I mean, seriously, picture that for a second. A giant eyeball. Sure, it could see like you wouldn't believe, but it would be completely deaf. It would be fundamentally broken, unable to fully experience the world. And it's the same deal with the ear. It could hear a whisper from a mile away, but it couldn't smell smoke if the house was on fire. The point starts to become pretty obvious, doesn't it? The conclusion is just unavoidable. Sameness equals dysfunction. A community where everyone looks the same, thinks the same, and acts the same is incredibly fragile and incomplete. Diversity isn't a bug in the system. It's the essential operating system itself. Now, this whole body metaphor might sound kind of familiar, but to really get why Paul's version was so mind-blowing, we have to look at the world he was saying it in, because this was a truly radical idea of value that flew in the face of the Roman Empire. You see, the Romans had their own version of this, the body politic. It was a common way they described the structure of their empire, but they used it for a completely opposite reason. So there's this famous story about a Roman aristocrat named Menenius Agrippa. He used this metaphor to shut down a rebellion. His message was basically, hey, common people, you're the belly. We aristocrats are the brain. Know your place and just do your job to serve us, the more important parts. It was all about enforcing hierarchy. But Paul, he takes that same metaphor and completely flips it on its head. His goal is to elevate every single member and insist that every part, no matter how small it seems, is totally indispensable and worthy of honor. The contrast is just stark. The Roman story was about top-down control. Paul's story was about mutual respect and dignity for everyone. One propped up the power structures of the day, the other tore them down. So, how does this ancient idea connect to us now? Well, to really bring it home, let's look at this myth of useless parts, but through the lens of modern science and our own bodies. For a really long time, medical science had this list of what they called vestigial organs. Basically, parts they thought were just evolutionary leftovers, junk that served no real purpose.
Take the appendix. For decades, it was seen as nothing but a troublemaker that could get infected. Now, we know it's a vital safe house for good bacteria, crucial for our immune system. Tonsils? Same story. Thought they were useless? Turns out they're a key part of our immune defenses. And the tailbone? Not just some remnant of a tail, it's a critical anchor point for muscles that are essential for our balance.
You see the pattern here, right? Our understanding was just incomplete. The very things we dismissed out of ignorance turned out to be absolutely essential for the whole system to work correctly. And this brings us right back full circle to Paul's big idea. Every single person in a community is there for a reason, designed with a unique purpose, even if we can't see what that purpose is right away. That quiet person in the back of the room, the person whose contribution seems small or maybe even invisible, they are just as indispensable as the eye or the ear. Every single part matters. So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. In your own world, your work, your family, your community, who's the appendix? Who is that essential part whose true vital function you might be completely overlooking?